What's up and welcome back. Mac the movie guy, John Stark, whatever you want to call me. I answer to both either simultaneously, whatever. And I went for another classic because I'm weird like that. I'm catching up on things. And this one, I struggled with whether or not to go for a second look or movie review because I realized while I was watching this, I was like, I think I've seen part of this before because there were a couple scenes where I was like, I feel like I've seen this scene before, but then there were scenes like in the film that I know I'd never seen before. So I think this is just one of those like flipping through cable movies where like you watch 10 minutes of it and then you move on. Um, but I think this is my first time actually watching it start to finish uninterrupted. So I'm calling this my movie review of Rain Man. Yeah, a film that I've seen parts of, and oddly enough, there were parts throughout the film. So it was very jarring because there was something towards the beginning of the film that I recognized. I recognized the motel room scene with Dustin Hoffman mimicking the sex sounds. I for some reason knew he was going to do that, and I remembered that part of it. But then later on, I remembered the Vegas stuff, and there was like a huge gap in the film in between that I don't remember at all. So I've seen like somewhere towards the beginning and I've seen somewhere towards the end. Um, and Obviously that's just through years of cable flipping. Um, this is obviously something that's on cable all the time. I thought this was great. It has audio description on HBO Max, and it does not have anybody listed at the end. I stayed through the end to the credits. No one was listed. No company. Nothing. It just dies at the end. Anyway, so this is a great film. Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman do great work here. This is kind of just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise, so it's really just Dustin Hoffman. But I mean, it's a great script. It's a great story. It's a classic. I don't really know what else to tell you about Rain Man. Um, it's I was surprised at sort of how the film ends, that it doesn't go the way you think it might go, like in the world of happy endings. It kind of ends in the responsible way instead of the let's paint everybody a pretty picture. But it's still rewarding. Like, I feel like there's still character growth, and people have definitely changed going from point A to point B. I never quite understood what the hell Tom Cruise's career was and why like he needed like emission tests and stuff. I never really understood that. I was like, is he making cars? Like, what is he doing with the cars that he needs to pass? I didn't understand that. I really, truly, at the beginning of the film, maybe it's a blind thing. I don't know. I just did not understand what his job was. But otherwise, I thought this film was solid. Of course, duh. I know people like to make fun of it, and we look back on Dustin Hoffman's acting now, and we're like, okay, so it's kind of a joke, right? Like, we kind of make fun of his performance as an autistic character, and it's like, well, so we've made progress with how we see autism and represent it in film today. But for the 80s, this was pretty solid representation of autism. He doesn't portray him like he's incapable or stupid. He's portrayed as intelligent, wildly intelligent, in some aspects. So it's actually kind of quite progressive for the time that it's made, and I try to always remember this movie was made for this time period. So have we written better autistic characters since then? Sure. And we've cast autistic actors in autistic roles. Do I think that somehow diminishes Dustin Hoffman's performance? No. I think he did what he could. It's sort of like what Tom Hanks said about Philadelphia. In 1993, the world needed to see Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. Seeing an openly gay actor in that role would not have carried as much as seeing like America's favorite actor dying of AIDS. Like, it impacted more because of the time period in that specific actor in that specific movie. if it was made today as a historical representation, it would look much more like the cast of It's a Sin, which, was all cast of LGBT actors. So of course it wouldn't be Tom Hanks today. But in 1993, it needed to be Tom Hanks. So anyway, in 1988, it needed to be Dustin Hoffman. Nowadays, it would not be Dustin Hoffman. Amazon has that delightful show featuring autistic actors, and that's a good show. So we've got Little Voice on Apple Plus, also used an autistic actor. So we've been incorporating them more and more recently. And I'd like to think today that if Rain Man was remade, it would have somebody who actually was, instead of somebody pretending to be. But anyway, I do like this. I thought it was great. And the acting's really good, even though Tom Cruise is really just heavy Tom Cruise here. I mean, I thought he was going to just, I want the truth, like at any moment in time. This is the most Tom Cruise-y performance I've seen. It's just so Tom Cruise. I always kind of wondered why he didn't get more praise for this, and I was like, oh, I get it now, because he's just playing Tom Cruise. I got it. I mean, he could be Ethan Hunt right now. Like, he has very little range. His character grows like a little bit emotionally, but it's so Tom Cruise. But still, with all of that, I like the film a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and give Rain Man an A-. Yeah. Just like I said, I think probably the one takeaway that I had from this thing was just how Tom Cruise is in this film. And I've seen him in some other things recently, and I feel like he's had more character growth and range. And for some reason in this film, which could have shown a lot of range for him, he's just very on brand. I just wanted a little bit more from him. So that's my thoughts on Rain Man, that absolutely nobody asked for, and it's totally random, and I acknowledge that. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Throw me a like and a subscribe, and visit my website, macthemovieguy.com, visit the audio description project, and visit theadna.org. Those are the websites I always hype, and I'm off to review another film. See you then.